Hello, everybody.
How's it going? What's cracking? Hope you guys have had a good week. Things are great. You guys are here to comp some houses, so are we. Hi, Emily.
Hello, Jamil.
How's it going?
It's going, man. Just had a nice, quiet Sunday.
We didn't get our intro video. Let's play our intro video.
Oh no!
I think everybody's waiting for it. We haven't started. There we go.
There we go.
So much better. What's happening, everyone? We're here to comp some houses. Let's comp some houses. If you're here from the Astro Flipping community, good to see you. Sorry we didn't see you earlier today. Our brother Austin had some vehicle mishaps, and unfortunately, that kind of killed our day. But we'll reschedule that for some time in the week, very likely Thursday. But we're here for Straight Outta Compin. If you're not here from the Astro fam and you are here from my YouTube channel, what's cracking? What's cracking? What's cracking to you as well? Let's comp some houses. Emily, will you put up the appraisal rules, please?
Yes, I got you.
All right, guys. So these are the appraisal rules that we use when we are comping houses. The reason why that we use these is because your buyers, they are subject to sell their properties by these appraisal rules. That when they sell them to homeowners and there's an appraisal done for a retail mortgage, the appraisers use these rules. So when you're comping your subject house, your comp property must be in the same subdivision. How can you tell if you've left a subdivision? Well, you've typically left a subdivision if you cross any major streets. So don't leave a subdivision. You know you haven't left a subdivision by not crossing any major roads. If you stay within a nice little concentric area, then you should be safe. Now, sometimes there won't be comps there, so then you have to make some adjustments. But we'll go into those types of comps when we see them today. You can only comp houses that are of the same property type. So ranches and ranches and 2 stories and 2 stories, historic houses and historic houses, you get what I'm saying. Row houses and row house, townhomes and townhomes and townhomes, condos and condos, they gotta be the same. And houses should be within 5 to 10 years of construction. 5 years is better, 10 years if you must, or the same build generation. So what I mean by that is if you got a house built in 1890 and then another house in 1910, they didn't build a lot of houses in that gap, right? So they were using the same construction materials. They were moving their bricks and mortar through the streets on cart and donkey. All that same goodness, right? The same build generation means the same construction type. So you can only compare houses that are the same. Now, if you have a house that's very similar, but it has something different like beds, baths, pools, garages, and carports, you need to make these adjustments if they're missing or adding those things. And then if there is traffic or commercial near your property, you have to make these adjustments as well. Hopefully, we'll find some houses on today's show that will use some of these adjustments and rules, and we can get into the nitty-gritty. But let's start looking at some houses.
Awesome. Let's do it. We got lots of addresses to comp today.
Wonderful. Throwing up.
I'm going to throw a bachelor up there for everybody.
Well, my little girl just tried to call FaceTime, but I can't answer it when I'm on this thing. So hopefully she can come on to YouTube. Hi, Charisma. Love you.
Charisma, get in here. All righty. You ready, Jamil?
Yes.
Okay. 6320 East 113th Street in Temple Terrace, Florida.
Okay. Can you put it up on the little thing here?
Yeah.
share my screen. All right. Read it for me one more time.
6320 East 113th Street. And that's in Temple Terrace, Florida. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, he says.
Okay. Thank you. All right, guys, we have 6320 East. No, that doesn't make any sense. What's happened here?
Why?
Is that the right address?
6320 East 113th Street.
That's the one. Okay, cool.
Temple Terrace.
Temple Terrace, but it's saying Tampa, Florida.
Wow. What is the zip code you have?
I've got 3617.
Yeah, that's what I have. So I think that's correct.
All right, cool. So we've got a 1985 build, 1529 square foot, 2-bed, 2-bath. Batch's value estimate on it is $260,000. It is got a garage. It is a single story sitting on a 13,000 square foot lot. Let's see what it's worth. Not loving the comps selection here. Let's see what we can find over at our friends at Zillow. Two bed, 2-bath, 1529 square foot. Zillow's estimate on it is $284,600. Zillow's been doing something really nice with their little comping map that they've been putting up here. I love this. So I like the proximity of 5 and 4. Let's check them out. So 5 and 4. This number 5 is a little bit smaller. Sold 2 months ago, and it sold for $265,000. And we had a sale that was 1935 square feet, so about 400 square feet larger, but that sold at $310,000. So that tells us we're definitely going to be somewhere in the middle of there. Now let's just check the map out to get some.
Jamil, our subject is a 3-2.
Our subject is a 3-2. Good, good. Okay, cool. So we don't have to make adjustments for that. So that's about 400 square feet larger, but 293. Okay, so that's, that kind of tells us our 280, 290 number may be real. See what else. This is about 500 square feet larger, but it's sold at $357,000. I don't know that that would be a viable comp. Surrounded by much larger houses. This would be one of those ones where I think you could even talk about an addition play. Everything around it is so much bigger. And you had 1,000 square feet, and check it out. I mean, you can have a 470 square foot, $470,000 sale. I would be marketing it like that. But I think the ARV is then about 290 as a square footage right now, and can get up to about 450 with an addition.
That's awesome.
That's it. On to the next.
Alrighty, our next one is 9025 South 7th Place.
Phoenix.
And that's in Phoenix, yes. And he said it's a 5-bed, 5-bath.
5-bed, 5-bath, 1413 square foot. Looks like it's probably in about South Phoenix. That's a big lot. I'm wondering, is that multifamily?
He didn't say. Jose, is it a multifamily?
It says apartment right here. Mind you, that size is interesting. It's 1413 square feet. It says property type is apartment. 5-bed, 5-bath is interesting too. It almost feels like they're really tiny, 1-bed, 1-bath little apartments in there. It's because look at the size of this lot. It's a very unique property. I don't feel like we're going to find a lot near it that will correlate and give us a value that will, be super easy to get to. But let's look at these little multifamilies nearby and see what they're like.
Jose said Batch pulled it as a 2,800 square feet SFR. What is SFR?
Single family residential. Okay. All right. And he said how big?
2,800.
2,800. Okay. Interesting. So, looking around here, that's bigger than everything. And everything around it is new. All of this stuff is new construction. See that? It's all new. And the old stuff is super small and like really, really different. Let's look at this. So here's an older one. This sold at 236. And I think, what's the square footage that he said we got there?
2,800 square foot.
2,800. So this is, tough. Again, this is multifamily. What we're going to have to do is look at a sale of something that's older like that. So here's one. And we're going to only be able to give it about a 10% bump based off the highest sale in that year build or in that build generation. There's really no way around that because you can't compare that with anything new. You can't compare that with any of the multifamily. So the highest or the largest sale of a house in that build generation that we've got is this 1840 square footer, but it sold at a nice 333,000. So we'll add another 10% to that, and we'll say another 33 grand of that. We call it probably 335. You might even be able to round it to 350. So that would be where I'd put the ARV on that.
That was a fun one.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, what are you using to get comps in non-disclosure states?
Well, I use my favorite tool, Batch Leads. If you want to put the link on the screen, Emily, so everyone can see it. It's this software right here. When you see me going into this right here, it's batchleads.io. You can give it a try for free, I believe, or there's some promotion they give you when you use my code. It's or my link. It's batchleads.io/Jamil.
All righty. Our next one is 9501. I'm gonna have to spell this street. So just Kuepfrele.
Coopfurley. I think that's right. 9501 Coopfurley Court.
Yeah, it's the first one right there.
Coopfurley? Coopfurl?
Man, you already know I was gonna butcher that.
Kerfuffle. 9501 Kerfuffle Court, New Orleans, Louisiana. Oh my gosh, look, no information, no year built, no square feet, no bed, no bath. Can't comp this on this platform, so we'll have to check Zillow to see if there's anything there. Whatever reason, this house in Kerfuffle doesn't want to be found or doesn't want to be comped. So, in luck, Zillow did it. 3-bed, 1-bath, 1250 square footer in River Ridge, Louisiana on Kerfuffle Street or Court. When this is built. It is built in 58, 7,200 square foot lot. Let's look at Zillow's quick comp here real quick to see if we can get an idea. Right, here's our subject. Number 5 is near the freeway. Let's see what that is. That's for sale. That's not going to help us. I want solds, guys, solds. Oh, non-disclosure. So we can't comp it on batch because it doesn't have the, oh, we can go to batch with that information. So it was what? 1250 square feet? Yep, let's go back. So now we know it's a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1250 square footer. Let's see if we can find some info here. Sometimes we got to go back and forth, guys.
This is great. We're just using what we have.
Yes, which is why it's important to have a cool comping tool like Batch Leads at your disposal when something like that happens on Zillow, which of course is free. So this doesn't have its square footage listed, which sucks. Let's see this. Do any of them have it? No. Oh my God, this is going to be one of those mind-bending comping games because I'm going to have to go to this house right here. Now I'm going to have to take it back to dumb Zillow so I can see the size of it. Curveballs, guys. 1200s. Oh, thank you. Thank you for being a comp. All right, guys. 3-bed, 1-bath. It's a 1,200 square footer, and that's sold for, now back to our thing at 2017. No, sale date in 2020 of 245. So I'm gonna say you're gonna add another, say, $5,000 to that for the size. Call it 250 ARV.
We really did that one. Alrighty. Our next one is in Queen Creek, Arizona.
Fun.
23420.
Say it again.
23420 South Via del Arroyo. Oh wait, no. So it's South and then Via space del. You got it? Oh,
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
I wasn't going to stop you, though, because I wanted to see you try to say it.
Oh, I'm such a winner.
Yes, see, those are the right words to say about yourself.
Yes.
All right. So we don't know how many beds. I'm going to assume a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1248 square footer. Batches or Zillow's estimate on it is 546. How big is the lot? It's going to be 2 acres. That's the reason. 2 acres in Queen Creek. You can fit all your zoo animals on your lot.
Oh my gosh.
Now let's look at the quick comps here. Too big, too big, too big, too big. Everything's, oh, come on. Everything's too big. Here's our problem. We're so small. Ooh, but I like this. $390 from 2019. It's not super helpful. Now, how are these selling for $700,000? What's this? It's got to be a new build. 79. So they just blowing these houses up. They're doing spectacular remodels to them, adding all kinds of square footage, and then they're popping, you know, 700 grand out of these. Incredible. And you could probably do something like that on this piece too. Look at the size of this thing. It's huge. So you're 1248 square feet. At 1,000 square feet, you can get to 800K. Let's look at the year of construction of this one. 2009. So I'd consider that like a newish build. Maybe you scrape, but I don't like that play as much as I do kind of doing something like this. So I think that's right. I think about 600 is what this thing would be worth. 600K, because you would be able to touch something close to that with a nice addition on there. But you got a tiny little house now. But I think 600 grand is the ARV. So you probably want to buy that thing around 380, 4. On we go.
Alrighty, 205 Edwards Avenue, and that's in Long Branch, New Jersey.
$205.
Edwards Avenue in Long Branch, New Jersey.
Bisbo. 3-bed, 2-bath, 1326 square footer on the market. 35 days at 375K. Been barely viewed, barely saved. Built in 1907, and this looks not like a house from 1907, so it's had some updates to it. No pictures available. Not a very good job by this for sale by owner on marketing their house, though. I'll tell you that. Dang it. His estimate is 368. It's 1326 square foot, and it's listed at 375. No square footage on this one, so unfortunately we can't pin it. This looks like a pretty nice remodel, but for the time, it's 1360 square feet. How big are we again? Pretty close. So I think 3 is the right number. So that means it's listed at ARV. So if you're wanting to buy this and as a wholesale house, You want to be offering like 230? I doubt that's going to happen with on them only being on the market for 35 days and being listed at 380 or 375, which is basically ARV. In their brain, they think their house is a, you know, full retail value. So that's one of those conversations where you just have to talk reality to them and say, look, this is what a house that sells for 380 looks like. Is your house look like this? If it does, let me refer you to a real estate agent and maybe get a, you know, a finder fee or a referral fee for that. But because that's a retail play, not a wholesale deal. But again, looking at the front of the house picture, it looks like it was a house that was remodeled, has, you know, a really updated elevation comparatively to what year it was constructed in. That, as well as the fact that it's for sale by owner for the last month at full retail, tells me that it's probably inside a pretty nice house and not a wholesale deal.
Dwayne said, which is the guy that brought this deal, he said, I spoke with a seller and he seems motivated. Brother passed away. It's a mess inside.
Go offer him 230.
All righty.
Let's go.
Next one, 11731. And that's in Arden Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio.
Arden Ave, Cleveland, Ohio. 3-bed, 1.5 bath, 1,040 square foot house. Built in 1920. It's a single family on a 2,700 square foot lot. Tiny little lot. See, no, not even a little front yard. This guy's got a front yard. This guy's got no front yard. Maybe he's got a little bit of a backyard. No comp tool provided by Zillow on this, or no comp houses. So it's not finding anything through the algorithm that it thinks makes sense or is worthwhile looking at. Let's see why. Here's a sale from 2019. Looks, you know, investor remodel-ish. Put a little paint and carpet in there and sold it for 40 grand in 2019 though. Tiny little 900 square foot house, but you know, we're 1,040 square foot house, not much bigger. What's this 58? Oh, this is 400 square feet bigger, and it's from this year. So houses didn't really jump. So guys, when I talk about a low appreciation, low demand area, right here, this is what I'm talking about. We're in like crazy town, United States housing, and houses are selling it here for $58,000. Right? You can't do that here in Arizona, Phoenix. That's the difference, right? We've got a high demand, high appreciation, low demand, low appreciation. So not much has happened between 19 and 21. We've gone up $8,000, and this is even 408 square feet bigger, or whatever, you know, 400 square feet bigger. So that's what I mean when I say low appreciation, low demand. This is exactly what I'm talking about in an example. So I think that we land somewhere in between there. Let's see if this, nope, way too big. You're going to be at, and let's see this, 1,000 square feet. Okay, here's something. But it's at 63, but it's from 2019. 40 build, much bigger lot. I don't think it compares. So I think we're about 50 grand ARV. So if you're wanting to buy that as an investor, you want to offer them 25.
All righty. Dennis, we're moving on to you. 136 Reynolds School Road.
Spell it.
And that's Reynolds.
Reynolds. You said Reynolds.
Come on, man. And that's in Canton, North Carolina.
Canton. Reynolds School Road.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we have an on market 89,900 list price, 3-bed, 1-bath, 1,037 square foot house. Zillow doesn't even want to give it an estimate. It's been around for 30 days. It's a true fixer-upper. It's built in 60, sitting on a 69 square foot lot. All right. So it's definitely not worth 90. What can you get for 110? Well, it doesn't say or have any pictures. See if there's a description. No description. Just sold for 110. So maybe, they're pretty similar in size. Maybe that's what you could get to if you were livable. 47 build. We are $60, so newer. Okay. So I think it's worth about $100,000. This guy's listed 10 grand less than that. So you want to be in, if this thing looks like this inside, see, I think you could call that a cosmetic remodel. Doesn't look like there's, plumbing ripped out or electrical that's gone. Probably about $28 a square foot. So I would say you want to be at $40,000, $45,000 at the most. That's it.
Awesome. All righty. Our next one, whenever you're ready.
Yep.
11613 Griffith Park Terrace.
How's my signal?
A little laggy, but I'm able to follow.
Okay.
That's in Lakewood Ranch, Florida.
Cute.
She said, has a den as well, but it is side by side to the community pool.
Okay. Looks like a really nice community pool too. Can we get into that? No. Behind it. So it's probably a value. Let's see how much of one though. Ah, there it is. All right, so 2-bed, 2-bath. She said it has a den as well.
Yeah.
So 2-bed and a den. It's in a nice lot. His estimate is $471,000. Ooh, let's look at the quick comps here from Zillow. They look decently close. So we have an 18. Oh, this almost looks like. Oh, that's us. Here's one 1863 square feet. Looks very similar to our house. 2-bed, 2-bath. Sold 3 months ago for $415,000. Here we have one also very similar to ours. Number 4. Where is that? Oh, that's far. I don't like how far apart that is, so I'm not going to use it. 5 is also very close, a little bit larger. So I, right off the hop, just based off these quick comps that Zillow is now so lovingly giving us, I feel like 420 is probably the ARV, but let's confirm it. And that's the community pool. That's nice. We got to give some value for that. Or maybe not. Maybe it's annoying having all the people walking by in their, you know, Speedos.
I was like, where is he going with this?
No. These little proximities to water are something too. We're good here because we're fronting it. So, oh yeah, the 415, that's the best we got. That's the most like we have, 415 ARV. So you want to be buying at about 70% of that. 290, 300 at the most. Hey guys, if you are loving this, do me a favor and hit the like button if you haven't already, because it helps my YouTube channel's algorithm, and also it's a nice thing to do. On we go, on we go.
Alrighty, 100 East Brookside Drive in Bryan, Texas.
All right, we have a on market 5-bed, 3-bath, 2115 square footer at $259,900 in Bryan, Texas. Ooh, I can't use this, can I? But I can use batch. Texas is non-disclosure. That's why I can't use it, guys. Active, well, it looked like it was, did they had dropped it a little bit? Yeah, they dropped it 15 grand. Batch hasn't picked that up yet. Just changing the parameters a bit to populate a little bit more. Batch kind of suppresses data, and I want to see all of it.
We want all the comps.
Mm-hmm. This is 247. Smaller, same build gen, less beds, sold at 246 recently. So we'd be above that, but we're listed at 270 or 260. So maybe we're listed right at ARV. What else is here? That's the one we just saw. This is too big, and it's also a rancher. So that's not a viable comp. Can't cross there. I think that's it. I think you're probably at about 270 ARV when you add the extra square footage, maybe 280. They're listed at 260, so they're very close to ARV. If you want to be getting this thing at a discount, you're going to want to be, 70% of that. So that's what I'd be offering. Oftentimes, guys, this is something you're going to see. Houses listed at ARV. But look at this house, right? These guys think this is renovated. They think this is great because it's like, they got steel appliances in here. And then they first, when they got a black dishwasher, then they're like, oh, let's put a little nice cooktop in there. And then we'll get a steel appliances for double ovens. And that's now a renovated kitchen in their heads, right? So again, to your buyer, they're not your actual retail buyer. They're not going to take that and say, I'm going to pay full retail value for that. So this person needs to sell at a discount, but they're not going to be wanting to very likely sell at the kind of wholesale discount we'd want to buy at. Because look, that's even a new vanity. So they've done some things in here. It's like in that limbo phase of not remodeled and remodeled, which sucks for everybody. But you might be able to snag a deal here if these guys get motivated.
Interesting.
Yep.
Alrighty, our next one, 2406 Gulfstream Lane in Fort Lauderdale.
Gulfstream Lane.
Yes.
In Fort Lauderdale, you said?
Yep.
It doesn't seem to like that. 2406?
Yep, 2406 Gulfstream Lane.
One word, two words?
One word.
Got it. Oh man, no information on batch. So now we got to go to Zillow, check that. Compin houses can be tedious work sometimes, guys, but it's worth it. Okay, we know we got a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1287 square footer. Let's just do it here and see if we can find it. 408 is the Zestimate. Let's see if there's any quick comps they're giving us. There is. I love when they do that. What's number 5?
Glenn said electrical fire.
Ooh. Is it all gone? Is it just this pad now?
I will let you know, but
Look, it looks like a pad.
mm-hmm.
I think they knocked that down.
Oh, he just said electrical fire again.
All right, well, not super helpful, but this is what I think happens here. This becomes a play where somebody builds a new house because
he said yes, just the pad. There we go.
Just the pad.
Just the pad.
Well, I'd want to know if the pad is 1287 square feet, you can sell it about 400 grand, which makes sense. That's what this estimate is, 410. So typically you want to be at about 20% of new construction value. So that's worth about 90 grand to 100 grand.
She's asking 200K.
She crazy. That's 50% of value. Nobody could build and make a profit at that price. So she's $100,000 over what the value of it is. Now, look, the reason why I'm saying that is because there's a pad here. The pad, though, is going to be 1287 square feet. Now, somebody could add to the pad and make a 1,700 square foot house and theoretically get to a 450. And if that's the case, then 450 at, even at 25% of that only takes you to 115. So she's still $85,000 overpriced if you added a concrete pad, and which would require an entire new permit or a whole development permit, because now you're adding to the pad. If you just use the 1287 square feet, which most builders would want to do, they're not going to want to go and add an additional 400 square feet and go through that process of holding it all that time to go through the city and go get a permit, a development permit for the additional 500 square feet that they want to do. So my thought is they just do a build permit and start going, so that they more preferably want to build a 1,287 square foot new house. It's only going to be worth 400 grand. So she's crazy. She's about 80,000, 85,000 on the high, on the most liberal in terms of overpriced, and 100,000 if you're being realistic.
Mike asked, how do you calculate 20% depending on the size?
So I'm looking at what the after, sale value is for the neighborhood, right? And if you look around at what's selling around here in the neighborhood, the highest you're getting, you get some here at 520. Mind you, that's on water. Are we on water here? Yes. So that's good. And it's a pie. So yeah, I bet you could add. So there's something to be said there. Let's look at this. Okay, this kind of changes things. But this is a huge value add. Check this out. When was the year build on this thing? 65. So you see what they've done here. This is so great. This is such a great example. So same situation, right? Look at this corner lot on the water. I might be eating my words that I just had earlier. But look, a 500 square foot addition, you can get to 780. That's all they've done here. They put a pool, so that's going to be a huge expense to get to this gorgeousness of a house. But now at 780, at 20% gets you to 156, and 780 at 25% gets you to 195. Whew. She might be close. She might be close because a builder needs to buy at 20 to 25% of what they can sell for in order for it to be viable as a project. That's just the ratio that I know from every builder relationship I have and from building. So it's a pretty standard ratio that builders use to determine what they need to pay for land, the most they can pay for land. So it's arguable that 200 grand may be right if the right person came along. Actually, the buyer for that would be the guy who did this project right here. That's who you want to talk to. You want to go and find this address, skip trace it, reach out to that guy and see if he's in the market for another one. And if he is, maybe you can do a deal where you don't even have to talk to that person until you've got him at like 205 or 210, and then go and have the conversation with the lady and try to negotiate down or see what his maximum is that he'll pay for it. Then you have a built-in buyer and you just walk over the street and talk to the person you're talking to and negotiate it below that. That's your buyer.
That's so good.
Woo!
Alrighty, our next one, 366 Sierra Drive in Lexington, Kentucky. He said it's a 3-bed, 2-bath.
I think Kentucky may be non-disclosure. Maybe not. All right, I'm going to assume a 3 or 4-bed, 2-bath, 1886 square footer in Lexington, Kentucky. The estimate on it is $184K. Ooh, let's look at the nice little quickies that Zillow's given us. So I don't like that all of the comps are on the other side of Bryan Station Road. That's not fun. So we'll see if we can find stuff closer when we get into it. But let's see what this says. So 2,000 square feet. Oh, there's an 1831 that sold at 172. Here's an 1842 sold at 185. That's just so that's an idea of where this thing might be, 185, and that's what this estimate is. So even better. Let's confirm it or disprove it. So you have a 191, but it's bigger. I think it's going to be right on the money, guys. Ooh, Here's a 1996 sale, but it's a 1996 square foot colonial, guys. This is something to pay attention to. Totally different style of house. This red brick colonial has an inherent value to it just because it's more charming. You see that. And so it's going to get a larger valuation for it, which is probably why it sold for 200 grand back in 2019. So I don't think it's a viable comp. Just letting you know why I'm disqualifying stuff. I think it's right on the money, guys. 185 is the ARV. And then let's see again for a year of construction of this. To kind of give you an idea. See, that's not a colonial house. It's nice. It's got some little bit of red brick on it, but that's a standard, you know, subdivision elevation from the 60s, sitting on 0.42 acres. So, yeah, I think 142 is going to be right. On we go. Oh, sorry. I was saying 1961 build means it's probably going to be a cosmetic remodel. So you're going to want to be at about 60% of ARV on that. So 184 times 0.6, you want off from about 100 to 110. There you go.
Awesome.
Am I freezing?
Slightly.
Sorry, guys.
Not your audio, though, so that's very helpful.
Cool.
Chi is on here. He said, what's good? Hope all is well, Jamil.
What up, bro?
Alrighty. Sorry, go ahead. What was that?
No, just said thanks for tuning in. What's next?
Our next one is 1438 South Gordon Street, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia.
Ooh, okay. It's an interesting house. On the market at 289.9, 5-bed, 3-bath, 4,200 square foot house for sale by owner for the last 75 days. Been seen 3,000 times. It's only had 113 saves though. So, oh, somebody's talking in terms of wholesaler language. Look at this. This hope can see the belt line from the front porch, full rehab needed, ARV 600K. Let's see if this guy is true or not. Year build 1920, single family, 0.32 acres, 4,200 square feet. Let's see if 600 is real. So let's look at this 410 sale. So it's a little house. The brand new little house. Can't compare it. And it's new construction in a historic area. So I don't think that this is a comp that we can really use. I'm not seeing anything close to 600 near here yet. Let's see this 450. Again, it looks like another rebuild. Nope. This is a remodel. It's a historic remodel. Okay. So this is a historic district. So I'm imagining that this property that we've got, and it did have a pretty nice elevation to it, but it's a 2-story. So, you know, 2 stories aren't always worth, well, 2 stories are never worth as much as single stories. And they're able to get this big square footage, 2,600 square feet in these single stories. But now, what's our square footage on that? I think it's 4,000, right? Yeah, this is an insanely big house. Insanely big. So there's not going to be anything here that's going to justify this $600,000 sale that this guy thinks that someone can get. Now, I think he's saying 600,000 because you get these 450s, but they're much smaller. He's probably taking the dollar per square foot from this and applying it to his 400 to his 4,200 square feet, and thinks he's got a 600,000 ARV. He doesn't. Again, all that an appraiser will give you is an extra 10 to 15% on top of what the highest sale is, and that's 450. So maybe you're worth 500 on that house. All right, now if he's saying that it needs a full rehab, you want to be at 30% of that. So 500K times 0.3, you want to be buying that thing at 150,000. Maybe 160 to 170 at the most. That would be your range. This guy is asking 290. He's about 100 grand over. Let's see if what he bought this for. Look at that. Look what he bought it for. 150. What did I say?
So good.
He knows what's up. He knows what this thing's worth. He bought it right. Go do it, dude. But he's trying to make $150,000 as a wholesale deal, and I don't think he's going to get it. I don't think so. But I respect you for trying.
Alrighty, 387 Roy Croft Boulevard in Buffalo, New York.
Roy Croft, one word, two word?
One word.
In where?
Buffalo, New York.
You have a zip?
I don't have a zip.
It is Boulevard, though?
Yeah, it is Boulevard.
Amherst, New York?
Yeah, let's go with that, and then I'll see if he says anything, but...
It's a 3-bed, 2.5 bath, 2416 square footer. Oh. Warm kombucha is not fun.
Oh, yum.
All right. Looks like we're on the main road. We are on Kensington Ave with an odd-shaped triangle lot. Is there anything like it? Yes. Smaller, though. It's a remodel from 2018, 185. So you'd be you'd be higher than that. But you know, this is another one of those low appreciation areas because look at what these things are selling for. They haven't really gone up that much. So this would be different because you've got a whole different type of construction, not on the main road. So that's why it commands a 240. And it's a full-size lot. But you've got all these sales here at 260. So I think you can use that, but you have to make the adjustment down. So here's where I would say you could start to use one of the appraisal rules. Can you pull that up, Emily? No? Emily, you there? Oh. Can't hear you.
Oh, sorry, I muted myself. There we go.
There you are. But look, we've got fronting traffic, and we're under 350, right? So we have to do a $10,000 to $20,000 reduction for that. So if we're at 260 at the high, you take off 20K for that. I think you could justify that you've got about a 30 to 40 ARV on this? Because it's so big. That's where I think it sits. All right, guys. Wow. That was a fun hour. We made it through.
That was a really good episode. That was one for the books.
Yeah. So, guys, we appreciate you so much for tuning in. Straight Outta Compin, it's here for you to know what you should be buying your houses at so that you're not out there writing contracts at full retail value for wholesale deals, right? You want to know what's a deal and you want to know what you should buy it for. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next Sunday. Thank you, Emily. You're the best. Peace.
Thank you.